All right, y'all. Welcome back. We are back interviews. Uh, we had a little technical issue, but that's all right. We're back to back interviews, and right now, um, we got one more interview for you guys tonight. And for those that are waiting for Eric Hamilton and the other ones, I promise y'all we will be airing those as soon as possible. You guys have my word. I promise you for that. All right, real quickly, let me get all the legal advertisements out the way before I get in trouble by my lawyers. This is not an endorsement video. These are interviews. Anyone is welcome to come on the show to talk about their race, why they're running, and all those great procedural things. Here on Motors with the Motivator, anything that I state or I get my guests state, those are the views of themselves and not of Apple, Netflix, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, none of those people. It is solely, nor One Motivation Network. It is solely the information of myself and my guests on today. All right. So you guys saw me for part one. We had Mr. Travis Hendricks on the show. And now we got one more state rep candidate coming on tonight. Her name is Lieutenant Nina Taylor. But I am excited to have her on the show today. She is running for State House Rep District 60. And I'm going to read it the way that it says on the ballot. Nina Taylor for State House Rep District 60. And we're going to try to see if we can bring her up real quickly. Hold on. There she is. How you doing, ma'am?
Hi.
Hey, real quickly, for the people that are watching, introduce yourself, tell them why you're running, and give us your platform.
Well, it's Captain Taylor, not Lieutenant.
I'm sorry, Captain. My bad.
You demoted me.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Don't demote me, Josh.
My apologies. That is my apology. So I apologize for that.
It's let me first apologize for my candid appearance with my Yu-Gi-Oh shirt. My air went out today, so I had to fix my air at home because it was warm. So I'm more of a jack of all trades. But I am running for House District 60. And my reason for running is because we deserve better leadership. I realized in District 60, we didn't have effective leadership. We didn't have a representative that was actually voting. It is notated that she has the worst voting record of all of our legislators that is here in Alabama. And so I wanted to take the time out to kind of brush up on the legislation, figure out why that wasn't happening, why we weren't being represented, and figure out how to make it better. I'm a teacher also, as well as being a firefighter. So, of course, I'm about education, and the education fund, it comes out of the house. It comes from there, so you have to start from the ground floor. A lot of people were like, well, why wouldn't you run for school district, or why wouldn't you run for school board, or you could have ran for city council? But this money that goes for education starts at the house. So why not start where this money comes from and be an advocate in order to get this out for the people? I think a lot of people have forgotten that in order to find people that are fired up for voting again and actually being a part of the legislative process, they have to be informed, and people are just not informed. And I would like to be that person that keeps everyone informed.
All right. So who is Nina Taylor? Let's get there. It's kind of weird because I know Nina personally, and I want to set a few things straight real quickly. I like to be candid and honest. Nina and I are friends. We have been friends for a very long time. I am not on.
You I.
I am not on Nina's staff of her campaign. For anybody that keeps putting it out, I am not on Nina's staff. I'm not even. This is not an endorsement video. This is an interview. So I just want to clarify those things real quickly before my inbox start running. Wow. All right, Nina. So I'm gonna talk to you just like you, my friend, because you're my friend, and I would do that to anybody else that came on the show that I had a personal relationship with. Why are you running? Like,
I just showed you why I was running.
No. But why? Let's have this conversation just as we did when we were sitting talking. At what point did it touch you to really say, okay, I'm really doing this?
When I saw my legislator standing on the House floor and she did not seem in her right mind, and she told all of the 77 Republicans that were there that she didn't care if she passed the bill, if she didn't care whatever. And when I heard that, that was my aha moment. And then the next year, there was the dump in Forestdale, and it was just smoky in Forestdale. And then the poo train in Adamsville. And she was not vocal about any of those things. But then once I got on the ballot, all of a sudden, she's vocal about stuff. She's vocal about Brookside when she knew about Brookside. She knew about Brookside because people had been hitting her up and telling her about Brookside. And so I'm like, so now that it's an election year, now you want to be on TV and say, I'm fighting for Brookside, but the people had already been treated in Brookside. So no, it's time to have somebody who's accountable to the people that elected you and voted you in. So if you're not going to be accountable to the people that elected you and voted you in, and you don't want to, quote unquote, work with them, you don't want to meet with them, because she's said on other shows that she just didn't want to meet with the people that voted her in. So if you don't want to meet with the people that voted you in, that means you're not accountable to the people that have voted you in. So we need something better. We need someone better.
Okay. All right. So I know what you do for a living. You're a teacher, you're a firefighter. But how does that equip you to be a state rep for District 60?
How did it equip somebody who's a state rep that was a secretary? I have leadership capability. I actually read legislation. I was reading legislation before I decided to come and run for this office. It wasn't that I wanted to do it before a title. I knew how it worked. I know where bills originate. They originate in the House. And it is a law. They don't have to pass legislation. It's just that they can pass legislation. But when you vote for somebody, you want them to pass legislation. They don't have to. Legally, they don't have to. They can filibuster all day, all night. But when you have people that want to work together in order to make things better, they will pass legislation.
All right. So tell me what parts of what encompasses District 60?
District 60 is Illiton, Smithfield, Forestdale, Adamsville, Graysville, Pratt City, Mulga, Brookside, and a portion of Fultondale from the shopping center back into Birmingham.
Okay. So what are some of the issues that are being that needs to be dealt with in District 60 that you feel that you can handle?
Well, of course, the state legislator is limited in what a state legislator can do as far as infrastructure or business or things of that nature. However, there's a lot of power with the state legislator also because they pass the budget, the funding, the funds for it. So if you are an effective state legislator, you should work well with your county commissioners. You should work well with your mayors. You should work well with your city council members in those cities. And then you're able to effectively get change, make things happen.
Okay. All right. So, y'all, the comment box is open if you guys want to ask questions to Nina tonight, and about her race and why she's running. If anyone has anything that they just want to know, this would be the time to ask her. What do you feel when you've been knocking on doors? What are people saying to you? What are people asking? This real open conversation.
Ooh, baby, well, you don't want that open conversation from me because I've got I've done peer-to-peer texting, and I'll share some of them with you when we get off this live. But when I go to people's doors, people are offering me their Ring camera footage of how she's coming to the doors and trying to get them to take my signs out of their yard. As a matter of fact, a lady hit me on a peer-to-peer texting. Well, she didn't hit me. She hit one of my, my workers, one of the people that's volunteering for me. She hit them. It was like, somebody put a sign of Nina Taylor in my yard and they didn't ask. And so she hit me and she was like, hey, do you know where this is? I've asked this lady for her address. She didn't give it to me several times. So I drove to her house because she's on her system and she's, typing it in. And I said, well, tell her to give you the address and then I'll personally come and get the sign out of the yard. And so she was like, well, I told her that and I watched her type it in to the lady. because it's an open texting forum. The platform that I paid for allows everybody to interact. It's not just sending a text message to somebody's phone. It's a sending a text message to their phone and they can reply back. Even if they want to reply back with, "No, I'm supporting my sister," because we've gotten that also. That's not a problem. But with that, it's more of a hands-on to a younger generation, because the younger generation likes to text. They're not necessarily trying to talk to a person on the phone all the time. So now they're able to have this conversation. And by the next day, the young lady had hit back and was like, "The sign can stay in the yard. I just wish, someone would have asked." And so I told her, I said, "Well, Miss Taylor said, please email her." And I told her, "Give her my personal email or my personal cell phone number, and I will personally apologize. And I will find out who put that sign in her yard. I just need to know where she is and where that sign is, because I've gone to many houses where there has been I'm not going to say her name, in their yard. And the people there would say the incumbent did not ask to put that sign in my yard. So I'm like, "Why don't you take it up?" And they're like, "Well, you got to know who she is. She'll come out here and act a fool, and this, that, and the other." And I was like, "Okay, well, don't worry about it. But we've seen you, so we support you." And then when the text message goes out to that same address, they reply back, "We're supporting you." So the polling looks super favorable. It's very shocking to me because she's a 3-time representative. And I thought that the poll numbers would be a lot tighter, but they're not.
So like in your decision making of you
Mm-hmm.
saying, I'm a Vine, like what was that like for you? Because this is a pretty different walk for you. I'm so used to you doing the community organizing and different stuff like that, and being a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different avenue.
I
What have
think
you learned so far?
it's the same avenue on steroids. So now it gives me the opportunity to not work in just the districts that I'm in and then where I am working. It gives me the opportunity to be able to do it on a wider scale. Also, it gives me the opportunity to help a lot of people that I usually would not be able to have the hands-on step to do. With me being able to talk with the mayor in Fultondale. And Fultondale is pretty much split 50-50. If you look at the demographics on it, it's, half white, half black. Forestdale is 85% black. Mulga is predominantly white, and like it's 1,200 people, and like 900 of them are white, and 300, 400 people are black. So you have those pockets where everybody's kind of segregated. This gives me the opportunity to kind of be like my family. My family is like a mixed smorgasbord of people. So I don't mind talking to people who are not necessarily Democrats. They can be Republicans, they can be independents. I don't have a problem with that, because the conversations need to be had with people who have opposing views to find out where the meeting place can be. And that is the way that you're able to effectively have change for a whole district. Not screaming and hollering at anybody, not saying that I just don't want to fool with you just because you're a Republican, because you don't want them saying that they don't want to fool with you just because you're a Democrat, or just because you're black, or just because you're white, or just because you're Latino. Those are not reasons to not deal with a person. We have to find a common ground and be able to effectively pass legislation that's going to benefit the whole.
Okay. All right. So tell me some things you want to bring to District 60, and more importantly, how do you bring new businesses into the district
Uh-huh.
and keep those mom and pop businesses still thriving and being visible in your district?
The mom and pop businesses are always going to be there, like Dr. Swanson, who's had that dentist office, and he's been in Pratt City for 60 years on that corner. A lot of people don't know the history of Dr. Swanson. But when I went in to go talk to Dr. Swanson had no qualms on. He said, "In the 60 years that I've been here, you are the only person that has ever ran for office that came in here to come and see me." He's a business that's been there forever. In fact, he's owned businesses, buildings in Pratt City for years. For years. So I found that rather strange that someone who's been there for so long and has accolades, that people have not come by and see him. Also, 78 Highway is a huge mecca. I mean, it's well traveled. It was the only way you're getting to Mississippi Tennessee, before you got Corridor 22 in, Interstate 22 in. So it was a lot of people coming through Forestdale. My parents lived in Forestdale. I remember coming Minor Parkway to Forestdale, Daniel Payne to Forestdale. It had inlets in certain ways, and those inlets have now widened, which means there's more traffic coming into those areas of Forestdale and Adamsville and Gradesville and even Brookside, because 22 now runs there. If it didn't didn't have the traffic flow, then Brookside wouldn't have been able to catch all the folks that they call themselves catching illegally. There are plenty of people that are there. So if you have the people that are traveling there and the people that are living there, and you have the buildings for the businesses there, it's now about just making sure that that area is now lucrative to other people wanting to come there.
Okay. Um, what are some other things you plan on doing in District 60?
Education is a huge thing. I plan on being more visible and having accountability. Your representatives should be accountable to the people that elected them. I don't have a lot of large PACs that are coming at me. Unlike the incumbent who says, I got alpha, they're the creme de la creme. Yeah, the alpha is not in these districts. It's people in these districts. So the citizens are who you should be accountable to. You should be accountable to the people who have elected you to go to Montgomery and vote for them. That is very important. I think everyone votes matter. Their votes all matter. Although Mulga was just written into the district this time, Mulga is voting in District 60. So there's no reason why a representative would not go there. We have to be proactive rather than reactive. So I made it a point, because I'm a proactive person. So in the medical profession, and when you're talking about saving lives and doing things, you have to be proactive. You need to be able to teach people about things. You teach about fire safety. So when a person does have a fire, they know what to do. You teach about medical attention. You teach people how they should take their medications. You teach about accidents, seat belts and safety and things of that nature. You teach people these things to be proactive. And your legislators should be just as proactive. They should be proactively talking to the mayors of these jurisdictions, whether it's Mulga, whether it's Brookside, whether it's Adamsville, Graysville, whether it's Fultondale or Birmingham. You should have those relations with those mayors along with those county commissioners in order to make things happen. It's a network, and everybody should work together. And we haven't had that. And that has been shown and proved, because we got a poo train in Adamsville, which is in District 60, and a legal dump in Forestdale, which is in District 60.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna open up now for any questions. What is your uh, what is
Why
your
I can't see?
stance? Huh?
Why I can't see the stuff?
Because for some reason my comment thing is not working,
Oh.
and I'm trying to get it fixed. It happened during Mr. Hendrick, so
Mhm.
y'all don't think I'm feeding her questions or anything. It's if you watch my last interview, you'd watch the one from yesterday. My comment system is messing up.
Okay.
What's your stance on police reform, accountability, and transparency? Um, is the question.
I've had a lot of people tell me or ask me that. And what I found in this race in doing things, when I do stuff, I find the incumbent on my heels. Like I did peer-to-peer texting, and I started in February. And she's never done peer-to-peer texting. So she decided to do it like 2 days ago. Whenever I introduce something on a platform, she goes behind me. I'd been going to Brookside. Now she's trying to go to Brookside. So every time someone asks me something and I give them my platform, I've learned to be a little bit more discreet. You can call me and you can ask me. But when I put it out on a platform like this for everyone to see, they take it, they share it, and then she does the same thing when she hasn't done it. So I'm not going to build her platform for her. I'm done with that now. My platform is solid. I want to bring more educational dollars to the district. That is very important, because that is what the legislator does. I want to make sure that the infrastructure has a better quality of life. I want to make sure that everyone works well together, works extremely well together. We should not have bingo halls and check cashing places up 7-8 Highway, which is a very viable place. Fultondale should not be rebuilt the way it is rebuilt, but Pratt City still looks like a ghost town to some extent. We have things that need to be done, and people need to be able to communicate. And accountability, everyone has a social media page in some type of way, form, or fashion. And there should be a place where people should be able to get in contact with their legislators in order to ask questions. And they should be answered. They should be answered. I have been accountable this whole race. People have called me 4 and 5 times a day. You can come and see me. District 60 is not so big that I cannot reply to a person, or I can't send someone to reply to a person in order to take care of an issue. If I don't know the answer to it, I'll find it.
Okay. All right. So I don't see any more questions. So what I'm going to do is, y'all, because I'm trying not to keep these candidates on long. I'm going to give you time to talk to the citizens of District 60. Tell them why they should vote for you. Tell them why you're running. All that good stuff. So I'm going to give you the spotlight, and then I'll come back after you have shared your piece. Once again, I do want to state this to candidates. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come on this show. I don't care which candidate you are, Republican, Democrat, Independent. Anybody's welcome to come on. I'm publicly inviting you all. I've publicly done it on Facebook, and if I see you in person, I also have asked. That's just not shade to nobody. That's just me. I'm saying it every time I come on air, so people know I'm giving the platform for people, and no one pays to come on this show. Let me state that too. No one pays to get on this show. We ask for people to donate to this show so we can keep the show on air, but no candidates have paid for airtime and all that stuff. And the only candidate that I have publicly endorsed on here is District Attorney Lanice Washington. That is the only one that I have publicly endorsed.
I love Lanice.
I've had several friends who have come on here who have been interviewed, and they can tell you I have not.
You're going to endorse me.
So, Nina, I'm going to let you speak.
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Listen, Josh, I would love to stay on for a longer period of time, but I have another one that's coming up also. So I need to try to log on to that one too. But I don't have a lot of things that I can tell people or make them promises that I'm not going to be able to keep. I can promise that I can be accountable. I can promise that I am transparent, that you can get in contact with me. You can get in contact with me right now, and that's prior to office. If you need help with something, you can call me. If I don't know the answer to it, then I can find a way to help you in doing that. And I do that now. It's what I do now. So I can do it on a larger scale. If you need to find out any more information on me, you can go to For the People 205, FORTHEPEOPLE, For the People 205. That's on Facebook and Instagram, or you can go to votefornina.com, VOTEFORNINA.com, votefornina.com. Everything is on there. You can click the link, you can email me, and I will get back to you. I want to say thank you, Josh. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show. You are amazing. I'm going to get you a new ring light. In fact, wherever you are, you need to call me. I think I have one down in the basement I can give to you.
Yeah, I need a new ring light. Whoever that ring light's, give them to me. No, also, I have an extra. I know I heard you. I'm messing with you. But also, I want to publicly say to you, thank you, because Nina is one of the sponsors for the food drive we did recently, and she's for the one that we're doing on May 13th. More information will be coming out about that. Y'all, I'm always about blessing people and being a help to folks. Yes. So it ain't always about politics. It's always got to be about the people. So Nina, look, I know you got to go. I definitely have to go because I have another pre-interview to do. But thank you so much for taking out the time to just chat with your boy. So
thank you. Bye.
Yeah, y'all know how to reach her. She'll say it again. We'll also put it on our comments on the show. Thank you, Nina.
All right. Bye.
All right, y'all. Listen, if you want to give a donation to the show, the Cash App is right there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got several other candidates this week. So y'all stay roller coastering with me. All right. Have a good night. God bless.